right, let's get the thoughts of political commentator Andy Williams. Well, there's someone saying, well, look, I know it's hard, but there is a plan and it's working. Not what the polls are saying.
It's not what the polls are saying, is it? And I think what's extraordinary is Conservative cabinet ministers and candidates are coming out and openly saying, don't vote for a massive Labour majority. They're basically acknowledging that this election is over, that the die is cast. And the argument now is, don't give Keir Starmer a majority of 256, or 262, sorry, as this latest poll says, because that will give them so much power to do whatever they want, not just for 5 years, but probably for 10, probably for 2 terms. So I think there is an acknowledgement that it's done, and it's a question now of just, for the Conservatives, trying to claw back as many seats as they possibly can.
And I guess they feel that's important. I wonder how normally the Tory faithful feel, people who would normally always vote Tory, and who may be dithering a bit at the moment, wondering what to do, to appeal to their loyalty.
Well, I actually wonder whether it will have the opposite effect. I think strategically this is a bit of a mistake, because if you are convinced as a Conservative voter that there's no chance of you impacting the result in a meaningful way, you stay at home. You might well just stay at home. So you've got the option to go and vote Reform, absolutely, but there'll be people who don't want to, don't want to give their vote to Reform. And
but that could balance out, couldn't it? In the sense that, I mean, the big concern for Labour has got to be everyone's saying they're going to win, so therefore why bother going out?
I think that's right, but I do feel that there are a lot of people who are very motivated by change of government. Now, I don't necessarily think everybody is hugely enthusiastic about a Labour supermajority of 260, but definitely there is a huge consensus, and we're seeing it consistently in the polls, that people want a change of government. So I think there will be a huge number of people who are motivated to come out and vote for that, which is why we were talking about Ed Davey a minute ago. I actually think the Lib Dems will do quite well in this election, not for no other reason than there will be tactical voting in some constituencies where it's a straight choice between the Conservatives and Lib Dems, and people go Lib Dem.
What do you make of his tactics?
Ed Davey?
Yeah. I mean, it's almost a bit like I'm a celebrity sort of thing.
I agree with Anne. I mean, the thing is, he's absolutely not a celebrity. In fact, I saw I think it was LBC the other day, they sent somebody out and asked a load of people, who's this man? And almost nobody knew who. His name recognition is incredibly low. I think, obviously...
But not in the constituencies that they target.
No, and they obviously have...
The Lib Dems are very good at that, aren't they?
Yeah, they're what they call the ground game, i.e., really working your constituency, having a strong local presence. You have all those boards that the sort of orangey yellow boards that we're familiar with. So, yeah, absolutely, they'll be doing that. And I agree with Anne. I think Ed Davey's tactics are kind of spot on. The only way you're going to get any coverage at this election, which is a straight fight between 2 people who could be Prime Minister. You've also, by the way, got a third candidate in Farage, a third leader in Farage, who is very well known. The way to get cut through for Ed Davey, maybe it is to go to Thorpe Park and bounce on trampolines and whatever he's doing here.
Have Reform made a mistake in the sense that they've gone for they're going for a national election?
Yeah.
Right. Even these latest polls say, well, they may get 7 seats. If they'd done what the Lib Dems are doing and actually saying we're not going to contest every seat, we're going to concentrate on the ones we think we can win, they could have perhaps pulled in more seats, couldn't they?
I completely agree with that, but I think the honest truth is that Reform's game here is not to win 20 seats or 30 seats or 40 seats. Their game here is to destroy the current version of the Conservative Party. That's what deep down Richard Tice and Nigel Farage, what they really want to do is absolutely obliterate the Conservatives and push them into a position where maybe they don't come back from this defeat in their current form. And I think there's now a reasonable chance that Reform could launch a kind of reverse takeover of the Conservative Party and turn it into the more right-wing, more populist party that they would like to see. So I think their goal...
That's really possible? I mean, the Tory party has been the sort of backbone of this country for so many years, and it's sort of... I mean, there's a Tory everywhere, isn't there? In all parts of the... in every institution you can think of.
Well, it does seem...
They're not going to break down that easily, are they?
It seems crazy to think that they might, and I don't think it's inevitable by any means, but, you know, it's different systems, etc. It's happened in other countries. I mean, look at France, where their main left and right-wing parties are basically gone. There's the famous Canada example from the early 90s, where the Conservatives went down to 3 seats. You know, it is possible that there's a full-on wipeout. I mean, I think there's a 10% chance that Rishi Sunak will lose his seat. I think you could end up with...
Actually, that was in one of the polls yesterday, that was predicted, wasn't it?
I think in the MLP poll they had him just holding on, but which I mean is remarkable in Richmond in North Yorkshire for a Conservative, William Hague's former seat, to stand a chance of not winning is unbelievable. I mean, that's the other thing, is they might end up with all of their candidates to be the next leader disappearing.
Yes.
And then what do? You start from scratch with, you know, you end up with people with no name recognition, and I really...
be exactly what they need. I mean, who knew David Cameron, really, in the general public?
That's true. But I mean, yeah, I don't see anybody within that generation, the sort of next generation, who has that kind of capability. But, you know, it's early days, and there may be people who emerge.
OK, Andy, good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. We'll catch up with you a little bit later on.